One evening, the Fat Controller came to see Thomas and Gordon. It would seem, he said, that many passengers who come here on the express do so to travel on the branch lines, most notably yours, Thomas. Thomas was very pleased. As such, it is only natural we ensure as much comfort for these passengers as possible. So tomorrow, a special coach will be attached to the express for those who want to travel on the branch line. Gordon will bring it back to the station, where Thomas will pick it up with his own train. "Oh, thank you, sir," Gordon beamed. "We will ensure that this coach is given our best care." The Fat Controller smiled and walked away. "To think, little Thomas," boasted Gordon, "the express will look grander than ever before, and I'm sure this coach will give your line a bit more flair as well. Not that it didn't before, of course." "Indeed," agreed Thomas. "Annie and Clauber will appreciate another coach too. They can get a bit full sometimes." "Don't know why you two are making a great scene out of this," grunted James. "It's only an extra coach." "Ah, but of course you wouldn't get it," retorted Gordon. "It's a coach for those who wish to see the best of our railway, the fastest train on the main line, and one of the most important branch lines," added Thomas. James snorted, and along with the other engines, decided to say no more. The next day, Gordon brought the express to the end of the line and rested before the return run. The station master told him that the special coach was to be added here. Soon, he saw a tank engine bring his coaches to the platform, but as he looked along the train, his eyes widened with shock. There were the usual bogie coaches, and at the far end, a small four-wheeled coach. It had a wooden body, and its colour was similar to Annie and Clarabelle. Gordon hurried over to the shunter. "What's the meaning of this? Why is that on my express?" The shunter followed his gaze. "Oh, that's your special coach." Gordon was horrified. "That?" he spluttered. "That tiny antique? There must be a mistake." "Oh, I don't know what to tell you, Gaff. That's what I was told to put on the train, so I guess that's it." The engine ran off to do more work, while Gordon seethed with fury. He soon backed onto the train, and before long was out onto the main line. He maintained a sour mood the whole way back. The coach was nowhere near him, but knowing it was there, the express just didn't feel the same. As he approached Edward Station, James was sitting there with a local train. He was very surprised at what trundled behind the express. "Oh wow, Gordon," he chuckled. "Is that it? Oh yes, that looks very grand. Definitely doesn't make you look stupid at all, not one bit." Gordon wanted to blow steam at him, but by the time he thought about it, he had already flown by the station. Meanwhile, Thomas had pulled into the big station with his coaches. He now waited for Gordon's arrival with excitement. When the big engine eventually steamed in, Thomas was not expecting his grim expression. "Hello, Gordon," he said. "What's the matter?" "Oh, Thomas," Gordon moaned pathetically. "It's a shame, an absolute shame." Thomas glanced back at the express and raised an eyebrow. Gordon, why is that little coach back there?" "That is supposed to be our special coach," fumed Gordon. He sulked away before Thomas could reply, who was just as surprised. When it was time for his next train, he was coupled up to the coach and set off. On the journey, the coach ran smoothly behind Annie and Clarabelle, and was able to traverse the many tight curves on the branch line. Thomas, meanwhile, remained indifferent. He was nowhere near as offended as Gordon, but did feel rather underwhelmed. "It just looks like you two," he sighed to his coaches. "There's hardly anything unique to it." "I think it suits us well," huffed Annie. "Though I suppose a different colour would have been nice." That evening, the two engines met in the yards. "Special indeed," rumbled Gordon. "It's just any other coach." "You'd think the Fat Controller would pick something that stands out more," agreed Thomas. "At the very least give it a different paint job." "Well then, perhaps we'll have to take matters into our own buffers." Gordon whispered his plan to Thomas. The little tank engine wasn't so sure. "Will that be alright?" he asked. "It shouldn't cause a huge fuss," assured Gordon. "Besides, as the Fat Controller would say, we must ensure as much comfort as possible for our passengers." "Okay," smiled Thomas. "We'll do it tomorrow." The next morning, Gordon had arrived early at the end of the line. He left his coaches and rolled into a siding. As he filled up on water, he surveyed the nearby carriage sheds, and soon spotted what he was looking for. Sitting alone was another bogie coach, wearing a beautiful red and white paint job that shone in the sunlight. "Ah, perfect," thought Gordon, as he then saw the shunter coming towards him. "Excuse me," he called sweetly. "There's been a change in plan. That coach, over there, the Fat Controller wants that to be the special coach for today." The shunter was puzzled. "Are you sure?" "Yes, it's considered more adequate for the role." The shunter still had doubts, but complied nonetheless. Later, Gordon set off with the express, now in higher spirits. He thundered along the line, making good time, and the passengers were pleased, especially those in the special coach. Soon, the train arrived at the big station. Thomas lit up when he saw the coach. "Enjoy your trip, little Thomas," grinned Gordon. "That coach should do very nicely." He quickly puffed away, and Thomas backed onto the coach. "It does look more stylish," said Clarabelle, "but will that be alright on the branch line?" "Of course," replied Thomas. "Don't worry, I'll take great care as always. Everything will be under control." With that, he puffed away. Come along, chuffed Thomas. He was feeling very proud. At all stations and crossings, people stopped and stared at the unusual addition to his train. Annie and Clarabelle still had doubts, but tried to stay positive. They were on time, and everyone was happy. What was there to worry about? Just after a bridge near the junction, the line took an abrupt, sharp curve, before running alongside the road. Thomas and Toby have no issues with these curves due to their short wheelbases. The coaches and trucks are short too, and can traverse the line with ease. The special coach, however, was long, and though having small bogies, they could only turn so far. Thomas approached the curve at his usual speed. He was looking forward to telling Gordon how well his journey had gone, when... "Oh, good lord!" shrieked Clarabelle, as an awful screeching sound was heard, quickly followed by something being dragged along the ground. Thomas stopped immediately, and looked back in horror. The rear bogie on the special coach had come off, and now sat in the dirt. The passengers were more cross than hurt, and yelled strong insults at the engine and his crew. "Oh dear," said Thomas shakily. "Yes," grunted Annie, "that wasn't very under control, was it? Percy soon arrived with a crane. He brought the coach back to the junction, and Thomas continued onwards. He dreaded what the Fat Controller would say. Later that day, he found out, along with Gordon. "When you were pulled out of the mine, Thomas," the Fat Controller began, "I believe you two formed an alliance of sorts. What was it? United we stand, together we fall? Well, you two have certainly fallen today into great stupidity." "With respect, sir," Gordon said calmly, "when you said a special coach, You expected something more grandiose, yes, I know," interrupted the Fat Controller. "But I needed to consider both the main and branch lines in my decision, and choose something suitable for both. Hopefully, after today, you don't need to be educated on why." Thomas and Gordon didn't. They quietly apologized, and the Fat Controller stormed off. As punishment, Gordon and Thomas swapped duties with Henry and Percy respectively. They did so for a whole week, before finally returning to their regular jobs. They accepted the special coach without complaints, and their trains ran like clockwork. They still felt silly though, and agreed to not let something so simple get under their paint again.